Direct to Pavos, descend to altitude 2000 feet, flyer 49er. Cleared ILS 18 right, KLM 6 Sierra Quebec.
Descend to altitude 1,600 feet, Sun Turk 2010. Reducing 210, Sun Turk 2010.
Direct Pavos, descend to altitude 2000 feet, Air Transat 41 uniform. Left 010, KLM 70 Romeo. Tower, Coude, KLM 6 Sierra Quebec.
Sky Travel 689er, request further climb and continue on the SID. Cleared to end it, climb to flight level 130, Sky Travel 689er. Heading 005, Sun Turk 2010.
Heading 180, descend to 1,600 feet, KLM 799er Golf. Cleared approach, Transavia 13. Descend to altitude 1,600 feet, Transavia 13. Climb to flight level 130, United 9er 234. Bye-bye, Transavia 13. Easy 9er 1 Golf, passing 2,400 climbing to flight level 60, ending departure.
Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 3,000 feet, Turkish 467.
Heading 005, KLM 70 Romeo. Cleared ILS approach 18 right, Orange 1231. Sun Turk 394, going around, runway not clear. Climb to flight level 130, Easy 9er 1 Golf. Suriname 1071 Heavy.
Sky Travel 689.
Direct to Sydney, and after Sydney heading 185, descend to altitude 2000, Orange 2209er. Direct Sydney, descend altitude 2000 feet, KLM 44 Tango. Taram 7854, with Charlie. Direct Sydney, descend altitude 2000 feet, Taram 7854.
KLM 3527, out of 24 climbing 60, ended departure. Climb to level 130, KLM 3527.
You're good.
KLM 801, leveling off at 70. Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2,000 feet, KLM 801.
Descend to 1,600 feet, Orange 2209er. Approach, radio check. Radio check. Radio check. Radio check. Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2000, Air Arabia Marriott 934. Heading 005, descend 1,600, KLM 44 Tango.
Descend to 1,600 feet, KLM 801.
Descend altitude 1,600 feet, Taram 7854. Cleared ILS approach 18 center, Orange 2209er.
Climb to level 130, KLM 602. KLM 3527, switching to Amsterdam radar.
The tower, Orange 2209er. After Sydney heading 180, Taram 7854. Left heading 275, KLM 44 Tango. Right heading 090, KLM 44 Tango. Air France 90 Tango Whiskey, inbound skip call. Direct Sydney, descend to altitude 2000 feet, Air France 90 Tango Whiskey.
Heading 005, KLM 801.
Cleared ILS, Taram 7854.
Direct Sydney, KLM 801.
Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2000 feet, tops with 7589er. Descend altitude 1600 feet, Air Arabia Maroc 9er34.
Heading 180, cleared approach runway 18 center, KLM 801.
Thanks, Taram 7854. Left heading 005, KLM 44 Tango. Direct to Sydney, KLM 44 Tango. After Sydney heading 180, KLM 44 Tango.
Thanks, KLM 801.
Left heading 005, Air Arabia Maroc 9er34.
KLM 602, bye.
KLM 209er heavy, descending to flight level 70.
Hello, Postman 804 Alpha Heavy, passing 17 climbing to flight level 60, Virgie departure.
Direct Sydney, descend altitude 2000 feet, KLM 209er.
Climb to flight level 130, Postman 804 Alpha.
Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2000 feet, lot 715. KLM 44 Tango, confirm that we are cleared approach runway 18 center. Cleared approach runway 18 center, KLM 44 Tango. Thank you, KLM 44 Tango. Heading 050, Air Arabia Maroc 9er34. Direct to Sydney, and then heading 180, Air Arabia Maroc 9er34. Descend to 1,600 feet, Air France 9er0 Tango Whiskey. Quality 67 Heavy. Approach, Transavia 6025, inbound skip hall. Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2000 feet, quality 67. Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2000 feet, Transavia 6025. Cleared approach 18 center, Air Arabia Maroc 9er34. KLM 9er2 Quebec. Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2000 feet, KLM 902 Quebec. Heading 005, Air France 900 Tango Whiskey. Thank you, Air Arabia Maroc 934. Leave Sydney on heading 180, descend to 1600, top Swiss 7589er.
Postman 804 Alpha, bye.
KLM 846 Sierra, inbound Schiphol. Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2000, KLM 846 Sierra.
Cleared approach, top Swiss 7589er. Thanks, top Swiss 7589er. Leave Sydney on heading 180, descend altitude 1600 feet, lot 715.
Left 005, descend to 1600, KLM 209er.
Orange 70, to Rotterdam. Direct to Atwit, descend to altitude 2000 feet, Orange 70. Direct to Sydney, and after Sydney heading 180, Air France 900 Tango Whiskey.
Approach, player 1952. Direct Sydney, descend to altitude 2000, player 1952.
Cleared ILS, lot 715.
Left heading 270, KLM 209er.
Descend to 1600 feet, KLM 902 Quebec. Tower, lot 715.
Right heading 360, KLM 209er.
Heading 310, descend to altitude 1600 feet, Transavia 6025. Left heading 005, KLM 902 Quebec.
Heading 090, KLM 209er.
On this heading, cleared approach runway 18 center, Air France 90 Tango Whiskey. Direct to Sydney, and then heading 180, Transavia 6025. Left 360, descend to altitude 1,600 feet, quality 67. Direct Sydney, and after Sydney heading 180, KLM 902 Quebec.
Left heading 360, KLM 209er.
KLM 6437, inbound Schiphol. Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2,000 feet, KLM 6437. Air France 90 Tango Whiskey. Cleared ILS, Transavia 6025. The Tower, Transavia 6025. Dutch Corendon 1532.
Direct to Sydney, and then heading 180, KLM 209er.
Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2,000 feet, Dutch Corendon 1532.
Descend altitude 1,600, heading 005, KLM 846 Sierra.
Roger, KLM 902 Quebec.
I'm sorry I was roasting someone yesterday, and I kind of went too far. So if that person... Oh, no, actually they're not watching.
Cleared approach 18 center, KLM 902 Quebec. Tower, thank you, KLM 902 Quebec. Heading 325,
Yeah.
quality 67.
Want any of those fried rice?
No, thank you.
Spinach fried rice.
Onur Air 383 X-ray, passing 87 descending level 70. Shamrock 288.
I'm not, no, I don't know.
Direct to Sydney, and after Sydney heading 180, quality 67. Direct to Tidbo, and then heading 265, descend to altitude 2,000 feet, Onur Air 383 X-ray.
On this heading, cleared approach runway 18 center, KLM 209er.
Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2,000 feet, Shamrock 288. Descend to 1,600 feet, KLM 6437. Heading 135, descend 1,600, KLM 6437.
Thanks, KLM 209er.
Alpine 252.
Did you check the alternator? Little baby,
Heading 005.
baby boy.
Descend to altitude 1600. Player 19er52.
Direct to Sydney. Descend to altitude 2000 feet. Alpine 252. Orange 70. We are about to cross the localizer of runway 24 Rotterdam.
I forgot to make
Left
your
005. KLM 6437.
Left heading 270. Player 19er52.
Descend to altitude 1600 feet. Cleared approach 24 Rotterdam. Orange 70.
Right 005. Player 19er52. Direct Sydney, and after Sydney heading 180, KLM 846 Sierra.
Descend 1600 feet. Dutch current in 1532. KLM 711. Direct Tidvo, and then heading 265, descend to altitude 2000 feet, KLM 711. Cleared approach 18 center, quality 67. Right 180, descend to 1600 feet, Shamrock 288. Tower, quality 67.
Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right here. Bow, 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 bow.
Left heading 005, Shamrock 288. Direct to Sydney, KLM 6437.
Left heading 270, player 19er52.
Onur Air 383 X-Ray, we are about to cross the localizer of runway 27. Thanks, Orange 70. Descend 1600, Onur Air 383 X-Ray.
Right heading 005, player 19er52. Cleared approach 18 center, KLM 846 Sierra.
Cleared approach 27, Onur Air 383 X-Ray. Direct Sydney, descend to altitude 2000 feet, Shamrock 78 Echo. Left 005, Dutch current in 1532. Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2000 feet, Transavia 180. Bye-bye, Onur Air 383 X-Ray.
Tower, good day, KLM 846 Sierra. Direct to Sydney, and then heading 180, player 19er52. Transavia 43 Hotel, at flight level 70. Direct Tidvo, and after Tidvo heading 265, descend altitude 2000 feet, Transavia 43 Hotel.
Cleared approach 18 center, KLM 6437. Beauty 86 Sierra, outbound Rotterdam, Niker departure, passing 2,400 feet climbing to 3,000 feet. Climb to flight level 130, Beauty 86 Sierra. Left heading 315, Shamrock 288. Heading 005, Shamrock 288. Thanks, KLM 6437. Direct to Sydney, and after Sydney heading 180, Shamrock 288. Left heading 300, Dutch Corendon 1532. Direct Sydney, descend to altitude 2000 feet, KLM 61. Descend to 1600 feet, KLM 711. Direct Sydney, descend to altitude 2000, KLM 59er. Right heading
Forgot to
325,
send
Dutch
streets.
Corendon 1532. Skip Hall approach, lot 464.
Departure, KLM 42 X-ray, passing 2100, Andic departure.
Right heading 125, descend to 1600 feet, Shamrock 78 Echo. Cleared approach 27, KLM 711. Direct Tidbo, and then heading 265, descend to altitude 2000 feet, lot 464. KLM 711.
Climb to flight level 130, KLM 42 X-ray.
Direct Sydney, and then heading 180, Dutch Corendon 1532. Left heading 330, Shamrock 78 Echo. Heading 300, descend to 1600 feet, Alpine 252.
Cleared approach 18 center, player 1952. Tower, player 1952.
Left heading 005, Shamrock 78 Echo.
Descend to altitude 1600, Transavia 43 Hotel.
Descend to 1600, Transavia 180. Descend to altitude 1600 feet, KLM 61. Cleared approach 18 center, Shamrock 288. Beauty 86 Sierra, switching to Amsterdam radar.
Safe. Land. First 20 planes without separation incidents.
First 30 planes.
Good morning, Transavia 65 Bravo, with you. Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2000 feet, Transavia 65 Bravo. Thanks, Shamrock 288. Direct to Sydney, and after Sydney heading 180, Shamrock 78 Echo. Heading 015, KLM 61.
Cleared approach 27, Transavia 43 Hotel.
Left heading 005, Transavia 180.
Thank you, Transavia 43 Hotel.
Climb to flight level 130, KLM 11 Victor. Descend to altitude 1600, KLM 59er.
Oopsies.
Direct Sydney, descend altitude 2000, KLM 1 Bravo. Heading 245, Cabo Verde 1605. Direct Tidbo, and after Tidbo heading 265, descend altitude 2000 feet, Cabo Verde 1605. Heading 005, Alpine 252. direct to Sydney, and then heading 180, KLM 61.
KLM 42 X-ray, bye.
Descent to 1,600 feet, lot 464. Direct Sydney, descent altitude 2,000 feet, Royal Air Maroc 214. Cleared approach 18 center, Dutch Corendon 1532.
Departure, KLM 89er, passing 1,900, Logic departure.
The tower, Dutch Corendon 1532.
Climb to level 130, KLM 89er.
Lot 464, confirm that we are cleared approach runway 27. Cleared approach 27, lot 464. KLM 853, inbound skip hall. Lot 464,
Nope, don't do that.
direct to Sydney, descent to altitude 2000, KLM 853. Direct to Sydney, and then heading 180, Alpine 252. Left 040, KLM 1 Bravo. Left 270, Transavia 180. Cleared approach 18 center, Shamrock 78 Echo. Heading 005, KLM 59er. Thank you, Shamrock 78 Echo. Right heading 050, descent to 1,600 feet, KLM 1 Bravo. Climb to flight level 130, Air France 341 Kilo. Descend to 1,600 feet, Transavia 65 Bravo. Right 300, Transavia 180. Right heading 140, KLM 853.
Royal Air Maroc 604, Weather Foxtrot.
KLM 11 Victor, bot. Right 320, Transavia 180. Heading 105, KLM 853. Heading 125, KLM 853. Cleared ILS 18 center, KLM 61. Direct to Tidvo, and after Tidvo heading 265, descend to altitude 2,000 feet, Turkish 138. Direct Sydney, descend altitude 2,000 feet, KLM 89er 4 Victor. Climb to level 130, Sky Travel 1063. Number 3, KLM 61. Direct to Sydney, and then heading 180, KLM 1 Bravo. Heading 310, KLM 59er. Right heading 360, Transavia 180. Heading 105, KLM 853.
Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2000, Royal Air Maroc 604.
Descend to 1,600 feet, Cabo Verde 1605. Descend to 1,600 feet, KLM 853. Heading 060, Transavia 180. Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 2000, Transavia 570.
KLM 89er, bye.
Cleared ILS 27, Cabo Verde 1605. Number 2, Cabo Verde 1605. Left heading 005, Transavia 65 Bravo. 1,600 feet, Royal Air Maroc 214. Heading 045, KLM 853. Direct to Sydney, and after Sydney heading 180, Transavia 180. Cleared ILS 18 center, Alpine 252. Right heading 360, KLM 59er. Direct Sydney, descend to altitude 2000 feet, Ice Air 119er Victor. Tower, Alpine 252. Left heading 360, KLM 853. Left heading east, Transavia 180. Estonian 9er 14. Expedite climb 3000 feet, KLM 59er. Heading 325, expedite climb to altitude 3000 feet, KLM 59er.
Ah, thanks.
Direct Tidbo, and after Tidbo heading 265, descend altitude 2000 feet, Estonian 9er 14. Descend to altitude 1600 feet, Turkish 138. Direct to Sydney, descend to altitude 1600, KLM 59er. Air France 34. Skip.
Okay, I'm going to end my stream here. Thank you guys.